And welcome back, everybody, on FullAccessSports.com. Craig Spivey now being joined by Glen Fowles, head man for the Willamette Bearcats. And, Coach, you always talk about it's a lot better to learn from a win than from a loss, but unfortunately we don't get that choice this time. But talk about the PLU game and what did you, as a coaching staff and as a team, take away from that ball game?
You know, the PLU football game, obviously those guys are great competitors, and we have a great rivalry with PLU. So it's one of those that, you know, things happen, but, you know, our take-home message is that you can never take things for granted.
Right.
You know, and it's great to play with confidence. It's great to battle back. It's great to be competitive. And when you, you know, like you say, absolutely, we'd love to learn with the win, but sometimes your greatest, you know, when you bounce back, sometimes the greatest learning happens after a loss. And what we really talked about is coming back and making sure that we stay true to form, understanding what we need to do all the time. And you know, on Saturday we didn't play well enough to beat PLU, and you know, we got to improve that. So it's kind of identify some situations, correct the situations, and move on. And it's one of those that, you know, tonight we had a great practice, guys bounced back, and you know, we're going full steam ahead right now.
You know, you had a great spurts there offensively against PLU, a very tough PLU team. We knew they were going to be tough because the losses that they had were to very good ball clubs. And give them credit, they held on the ball for 16 minutes there in the second half and punched it in twice, and that was kind of the difference in the game.
Yeah, you know, and credit to those guys. They had the ability to convert and hang on to the ball, and you know, they had a good plan, and especially in the fourth quarter where it seemed that we couldn't get off the field. So, you know, converting, you know, I think in total, and if you look at that drive, it was about you know, a 21-play drive, right, that they didn't make many mistakes. And you know, if you got a team that takes 21, it's hard to not make a mistake in 21 plays on air, but they had the ability to do it and keep it going and held onto the ball. So, you know, they did a great job there, and some of the mistakes that we made earlier in the game, you know, we didn't get another opportunity to come back from it. So yeah, it was good. They did a good job there. You
know, now despite the loss, the Bearcats still hold their own destiny in their hands, don't they?
Absolutely, and that's what's great about this year. You know, this is the first time that whatever we do on the field is what we are. Yeah. You know, we're not playing, you know, Division I schools. We're not playing NAIA schools. So we've got 10 Division III games, and whatever we do is what we are. And yeah, absolutely. If we do a good job and if we win the week, you know, we're right where we want to be.
You got Linfield coming up, and it's obviously always a big game no matter what, and Linfield no different this year. A very tough ball club. When you look at Linfield offensively, what do they do so well that makes them so consistently good?
You know, what they do well from an offensive standpoint, and they've had this for the past few years, is that, you know, when they throw the ball, they throw it on time. They're crisp. They're really polished. You know, so on offense, it's one of those things that we've got to, you know, play well, contain the quarterback, force them to throw. Hey, we want to hurry the guy, you know, because if they have the ability to throw it on time, they're really a tough team. And, you know, they've got some running backs that, you know, just when you decide to drop into coverage, they have the ability to hurt you. So they're very, like I said, they're very, you know, seemingly balanced team because they can run the ball, they can throw the ball. They're pretty precise when they throw the ball. Their quarterback's pretty accurate. So we got to disrupt that somehow.
You know, Josh Hill, their main running back, he's only a freshman, been very, very good this year. But Mickey Enns, their quarterback, this is really his second full year, and it doesn't seem like he really makes very many mistakes. He is a very, not only athletic quarterback, but he's a very heady quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah, Mickey is. He is. He's a good quarterback. He's got a, you know, he's a student of the game, and you know, it's kind of like our guy with Josh. Is that, you know, he studies and he prepares and he throws the right ball. It's, you know, yeah, he's a good football player, and he kind of has their offense wired. He knows exactly what to do.
A lot of times they focus on the offense with Linfield, but defense has kind of been their calling card at time, and they right now give up less than 95 yards a game on the ground and hold opponents to about 220 through the air. They've got some speed on the defensive side that can really give you a little bit of problems, can't they?
Yeah, they do. And, you know, they do a real good job where their DBs are athletic, their linebackers are athletic. You know, they got a couple of D tackles that can get some push and change the line of scrimmage. They got a couple of defensive ends that are really good coming off the edge, good pass rushers. So yeah, they do have a nice defensive makeup, and you know, it's one of those things that our challenge is to go ahead and, you know, protect the passer and have the ability to match up in the run run game. And if we can do a couple of those things, you know, it's going to be a great battle. But yeah, their speed, their athleticism, they're like I say, they're good defense, and they're good where they need to be good. They're athletic where they need to be athletic, and they get some push up front.
You know, Maxwell Field always seems to be a pretty good atmosphere for small college football there. You know, they have the students there down by the field, and it's always a packed place. Is that the kind of thing that, you know, you talk to the kids about it a little bit just to kind of stay focused? Can they get you off of your game a little bit?
You know, it's one of those things that it's a great atmosphere to play in, and our guys have been in good atmospheres. Again, down at you know, at Hardin-Simmons in Tech. I mean, that's a great atmosphere. There's great atmospheres all over. Really, what happens is once the kickoff starts, you kind of tune that stuff out, you know. So they'll be able to do that. You know, it's one of those things that they'll be excited before the game. The atmosphere will get them going in pregame. But once that kickoff goes, you know, if we're doing it right, we're going to be focused on our job, and you really don't hear what happens in the crowd at that point.
So, Coach, what's the message of the week for your troops here getting ready for this game in order to be successful? What are you talking about in practice to be able to take that next step here?
You know, the big thing for us is, you know, obviously, you know, when we came in on Monday and we watched some film with the guys, it was, you know, we got to identify what our issues were, and then we got to correct it and move on. So on Monday, we kind of moved on, and what we talked about is, you know, we're starting this week 0-0 anyway, you know, and all our efforts are going to go to win this game. So, you know, on Saturday, at the end of the day, we want to be 1-0 this week, and, you know, for us to do that, we just, you know, a little tighter focus on our responsibility and being a little more fundamentally sound, and you know, asking the guys to do one more thing this week than they hadn't done in the past to prepare better, you know. And it's all going to come down to when you get into a battle with a team, and you know, teams are matched, and it's a big game. You got to rely on your preparation, your fundamentals, and you know, we're just trying to improve that part of it.
We're getting ready for the next chapter of Linfield and Willamette, the Wildcats and the Bearcats, with Coach Glen Fowles. I'm Craig Spivey. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on FullAccessSports.com.